Can we ever stop thinking?
We often find ourselves in an endless thought loop. And every so often, we try to stop this endless flow of thoughts by telling ourselves to just stop thinking. But do we can ever really stop thinking? It took millions of years of evolution to get a mind of this kind of capability, that today you have a mind of this kind of scope, and now we are trying to stop it. If our mind is constantly producing absolute pleasantness for us, is it good to stop thinking? It depends on how you define thinking. A thought, which is the result of chemical firing between brain cells, can happen both on the conscious and unconscious level. The type of thinking we are aware of, such as the endless thoughts that pop up when we're trying to sleep, can be silenced. We have no life without the functioning of kidneys, liver and heart. In the same way, our thinking helps us to observe things deeply for better decisions in life. There's a difference between having a thought and being aware that you're having a thought. So if you ask someone what they're thinking about and they respond with nothing, they could just not be aware that they're having thoughts. For instance, you could be deeply in thought about a relationship or an upcoming test, and you only become aware of it when someone taps you on the shoulder and snaps you out of it. People who are thinking about nothing could also be having stream of consciousness thoughts. But the brain never actually stops thinking in a broader sense. Most thoughts are actually happening in the background without us being aware of them, and there's not really a way to turn these things off. If you see a familiar face in a crowd and think you know him, you might not be able to come up with how you know them right away. But maybe hours later, you'll suddenly remember. That's a result of your brain's thinking in the background. Even making decisions happens mostly unconsciously. A lot of times our brains are crunching a lot of numbers and spitting out a gut feeling that we ultimately go with. We don't always have conscious access to our brain's decision-making process, and sometimes we create a story to explain the decision. Sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. How you define thinking changes the answer to the question. If you mean thinking, as in having an inner dialogue with ourselves, then, yes, we can stop having that inner dialogue. But if thinking means not focusing attention on anything in particular, I think that would be a lot more difficult for the layperson. Even sitting here watching this and thinking about thoughts is sending messages across a chain of neurons in the brain. So if we somehow manage to stop ourselves from thinking consciously, or achieve a blank state of mind through meditation, the brain would not turn off. It will continue to have thoughts, we just won't be aware of them.